Welcome back, one and all, to Rare Atom versus Lynn Vision Gaming. It's going to be a banger, hopefully. We've had a good first map, which took us all the way to the wonderful heights of Vertigo. Lynn Vision were able to start off strongly there, and they closed strongly as well with a 16-11 victory. Now we go on to the map pick of Rare Atom. They're already hemorrhaging frags. It's going to be Jam Young taken out instantaneously as Zaka tries to do what he can to stop this from going down towards the B side. Unfortunately, it's already gone. The Dual Berettas of Westmelon are going to try and pay the price for it. Now, another frag outside is going to make this an all the more easy retake here for Lynn Vision.
Oh, that's the bomb. Oh, why would you send the bomb back to check secret? That is a huge oversight from Rare Atom, and we've only just gotten into the start of this new map. Mercury is in a position that is definitely not admirable. He is 6 feet under, as he pointed out. And Lynn Vision, what a dominant way to start the CT pistol. I'm surprised Westmelon only takes, I think it was 6 damage from a dink there, although it was from a pistol through the floor. That seems a little harsh, given it was a P250. But regardless, Rare Atom get bullied. And again, their decision-making to send the bomb carrier away from the bomb site in order to check secret was just balmy. And with that, well, Lynn Vision are off to a happy start.
Yes, it certainly was a bit of a kooky one, I will agree. But Rare Atom here are on quite the odd one, really. They had a bit of a rough time in their earlier best of 3, but they scraped through it. They are having a bit of a rough time here in this best of 3. See if they can scrape through it again. Rare Atom really need to see some life out of Jam Young, really. It's been 4 maps today that he has been, how do I say this in a way that doesn't really hurt people's feelings? Underwhelming? Yeah.
There we go.
I feel like that's the way to go about it. But just to put it into perspective, really, so I'm going to try and take a look at to see what his statistics are in his most recent matches, just to see how badly things have been going. Just today, in the match against Wings Up, he was the second worst player behind his IGL, at -10 with a 0.89 rating. It's not what you want to see, is it?
No, especially from one of your more star players. As I said, 1.19 rating. Much of that is against regional opponents, and a dazzling showing against the Brazilians over in DreamHack Valencia, or Challenger Valencia, whatever it's called these days. But yeah, we need to see a resurgence. We repeat it again and again and again. We need to see a resurgence from Jam Young. He's not really even had a good map. He's had an okay map. He played somewhat decently on Mirage, but the rest of it has just been underwhelming performance after underwhelming performance. Even K's had Overpass, where he decided to show face. And Advent has sort of had a couple of moments, but we don't expect much from the IGL. We expect a lot from a star rifler. And, well, with him continuing to underwhelm, Lynn Vision Gaming are taking full advantage. And in this one, my God, look how passive Rare Atom are playing on these Glocks. I believe they've gone for an exercise save round here, so they can talk over some strategy. As Starry should be able to bomb a couple of eco frags towards the ramp. First goes down. Mosea, why in the high heavens does he decide to jump there when he had the absolute rundown on the rifler? Who knows? Very weird decision-making from Rare Atom all over the shop in these first 2 rounds. I know that was just the Glocks there. Hopefully we can see something from them now they have a couple of guns to their names.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. But again, it's not going to be fantastic in terms of rifle setup. They are going to have to skimp out on firepower in order to afford utility here. As you can see, there's not really the utility for Messiah. There is going to be the utility for Advent and Kaze, who both had to opt into the Galils. Now, this is far from ideal, but it is matched on the opposite side of things by LV having the MP9 on Westmelon and having the FAMAS on Zaka. Now, was another M4 in play, but X-Pro just got taken down, and now there goes the MP9. Westmelon can't quite get started in the same way that he was in the previous half, but are they going to anticipate Starry's elevated position at ramp? No, they are not. Now, 3 players lie in wait at secret. They're not pressing forward, but Jam Young is. They're waiting for his signal. They're waiting to find out what he's going to do before they start to move on in. Now, there is a player moving down in towards this B site, if I'm not mistaken. It's Zaka. He's got the fat mass, and he's got 2 for his troubles. Penny for your thoughts, potentially for a 3rd. There's Kazes around the corner. Why not? The fat mass has actually found use. I don't believe I'm saying those words, but Jamyoung is now sat beneath heaven. And he's just going to look to try and find a way into this round by any means necessary. But Nelly denies him. Refused at every twist and turn. The FAMAS holds strong. And so do Lynn Vision. They get the 3rd round on the board, and Rare Atom are sent spiraling back into the economic doldrums once more.
I got to hand it to Zaka. That was impeccable. Just dancing around in control room there, finding all 3 frags of a tally, and just shutting down Rare Atom in the most brutal way possible with a FAMAS. It's never a nice thought, especially when all 3 of your players had AKs up against it. They just had awful spacing. They just weren't able to trade. And now Rare Atom, well, they've had to trade their rifles back in for a couple of pistols, one of which isn't even upgraded due to the utility burden Case has been forced to take. And Starry, that's a dodgy smoke there, accidentally throwing his utility on top of himself and getting a dink for his troubles.
Oh no!
And Mercury, speeding on through, will pick up a rifle and a bit of damage.
Oh my god!
A jumping Tech 9 kill. Good gracious! As it's now a 4 versus 3 for the T side as they look to recover face.
The Rare Atom hesitancy strikes again. They just stall out inside of the ramp room. 2 players now reflanking ramp as they all try and get in towards Hell. I think they're going to try and go for a bit of an outside pop to try and take some of this pressure away. How do they get back into the A site if they're going to opt for that one? And B now is certainly off the table unless they go through secret. So this is looking far from ideal at present. They have elected to go for this outside play. X-Pro still sits and resides within Garage where he finds 1 frag. He does take a good chunk of HP for his troubles, but that's another frag for him. Zaka's now racing in behind to try and cover his teammate and his in-game leader. Zaka does fall at the expense for Jamyoung, but even still, this is a 2 versus 1. Jamyoung on 7 HP, bomb strewn right in front of where X-Pro is currently residing. Jamyoung will slide around this corner and just back away before he walks into the crosshair of X-Pro. I fear that X-Pro may have an inclination about this being the case. May call for his teammate to go back in towards one of these 2 sites and just wait for the bomb to be planted. Nelly is not going to see anything towards A, which very quickly gives them the understanding that it is going to be hitting in over towards B site. Pump those digits in, and now hope that you can survive. Quick flashbang out of the decon door from 1 player. It's going to be a quick pronged assault. They're coming and collapsing on this one very, very quickly. It's Nelly coming in from decon, and it's Nelly finding the frag. Another clean round for Lynn Vision Gaming. I say clean, however, they did concede a fair amount to just pistols, but they have been written down to a fair bit of luck for those jumping.
Well, a bit of luck, a bit of skill, and the tenacity to finally play aggressively when having an advantage after having dinked down, I believe it was Starry towards Hell. Mercury charges on through, catches him off guard, and is very unlucky to have been dinked from the Heaven player. Also, just quickly, X-Pro has 169 ADR. That is absolutely absurd. I know it's still early doors, we're in round number 5, but to be putting up numbers like that, fair play to the man. Hopefully he can keep that going, as Jamyoung is still looking to resurge himself, is still failing to resurge himself, but maybe... Ooh! 5th round's the charm. It certainly is for Mosey and for Mercury, as they now have an open A bomb site, and that is just brutal from Mercury. Blind spam through the smoke, there's a lot of damage. Zasiti to force back out of Heaven. And it feels like that they've been knocked out of Heaven for too long, in the words of Bruno Mars, but the bomb has now made its way to the site. It can get planted imminently.
Imminent has seemingly been quite prudent here for Rare Atom. They've gone the overextension in towards bottom of Heaven. They found 1 frag for their troubles, but I don't think they're going to be really going to be taken down for much more. Lynn Vision seem to be quite content with conceding this round away. Despite their heavy progress on the 4-0 start they had, the money isn't really as stacked up as you might initially be. So, for Mosea and the rest of his merry men, Rare Atom are quite happy to take this round, leaving those 2 players alive because they, in their own right, want to start building an economy of their own. They want as many gun rounds as possible. They want to give them as much chance as possible. Because this is Nuke. It's tough to get T rounds at the best of times, especially when you don't have weapons.
Yeah. Well, yes and no. I feel like Nuke is one of those maps that if you get a bit of luck and a bit of timing with your utility and some pistols fast rushing out onto A, it is one of the harder pushes to defend against, regardless of the caliber of buy on that T side. But yeah, no, I get what you're saying. Of course, you're right in that instance. It's just Nuke is occasionally one of those maps where pesky plays from the T side pay dividends. Thanks, bro. Looking to be a pest himself. Dancing around the top of the ventilation shaft. Instead, it's Zaka to get removed early doors. And with that, the T's have a man advantage, and Westmelon none the wiser to Jamyoung's position. Great stuff there from Jamyoung, as he will find the head of Westmelon as well, not having as prominent a game as he did previously, and Mercury chiming in too. Means that X-Pro falls. Nelly and Starry falter. Not much else they can do. Nelly attempts to find a frag towards lobby, but has already lost that opportunity. And this might just have to be a safe call for Lynn Vision Gaming.
Vision, I think, have to just concede this one, I'm afraid. You're right with what you say. The save call is the right one. It's a bit like last round, really. You can get that one frag. It doesn't really change much for you. You just have to back out. Live to fight another day with these weapons to be carried over. Starry is just waiting, really, for anyone who might come out of lobby. And I think this is probably the right thing to do. Because without these two weapons, it is unlikely you're going to have much of anything coming into round number 7, sorry. That'll be 7. I can do math.
Quick
Yeah.
maths.
I was not good at maths at school. I'll be real with you, Tom.
I think the worst incident I've ever had in casting was maths related.
Yeah.
I was so adamant that I was right about a time zone because I couldn't do basic addition and subtraction. I was like berating my co-caster at the time.
Yeah, well, I've seen some worse howlers, I'll tell you. How about overhyping a bomb that's being defused when nobody's alive?
Oh, Neo, you silly goose.
You silly.
That was one of the funniest clips I've seen in a while.
Did maybe.
But, yeah, someone who isn't laughing right now is Case. 0-4. I want to say uncharacteristic, but he did have a similar start to the first map of the series. Isaiah as well, 1-5. Goodness me, it takes a long time for Rare Atom to wake up into a map, doesn't it?
Well, the good news is, I suppose, is that Jamyoung is at least looking like he has good intentions to start this game off. Starry's been spotted, and unfortunately, he's not having the same success as he was having in middle on Vertigo. He's been taken down at ramp now, a couple too many times for his teammates' liking. This has been a bit of a pressure point for them. Do they know? Over towards this B site is where a good number of players are lying in, waiting to try and catch this AWP, and whilst they do, it does cost them the life of one player. Zaka ready to try and retreat with Nelly in tow. They get an AWP for their troubles, but they need to make sure that they are aware of Jamyoung out towards the back, and so far it looks as if they're not. Zaka with a hard shot to hit is going to look to try and away from that one and maybe try and find a different angle to try and save this AWP from. He's got to consider secret momentarily. There is a player coming up through it. If he's not careful, he will get shot in the back. That player is soon to arrive, I imagine. I think he may have just slipped away and evaded the gaze of all of these purveying T-sides.
Great timing there from Zaka, to be fair, on the save. Manages to evade 3 players in his immediate position. With that, the bomb does go off, and that is another round that Lynn Vision slip in a row. 3 on the board for Rare Atom, consecutively at that. And their economy has started to build in a massive way. Consistent bomb plants, consistent 3+ players surviving, and put Lynn Vision in a precarious scenario. Win this round, or face the wrath of a near unlimited bank balance for the next 3 or 4 rounds for the Rare Atom squad. And now, as Lynn Vision push further onwards, I'd like to see Starry reposition himself on ramp. He's been playing from hell a lot, and it's not really been paying off for him thus far. He's able to adapt a little bit there. It could do wonders. So that's a lot of information going to the CT side there as they get tick damage in the Molotovs. But Westmelon, a shadow of his former self, removed again early doors. Starry, though, does huge damage with a kill and a frag grenade. It is now a 2 versus 4 as the Rare Atom players slip silently down to the B site and look to hold on to what seems to be a near impossible task. Do they not realise yet? I don't think they've realised it.
I think they do now.
They do now.
I've only got one kit to do this with, by the way. It's on Zaka, so he needs to be the one to move quickly, or at least they need to be able to keep a hold of where his kit's going to be if he ends up falling. Huge frag here on Kays. If he falls, this all comes undone. He's going to switch his angle, go to the other side of the vents, and then back down towards Decon. Nice first shot down, but he's been dinked in the process. There he goes. Jam Young left alone in the site now with 11 HP remaining. That bomb ticking dangerously low. Quick, get that frag. Quick, get on that bomb. Starry doesn't have a kit, I'm afraid. Oh, he's picked it up off his friend. Can he get it in time? I think he has just about enough. Good, decisive play from Lynn Vision by the skin of their teeth. If they hesitated for merely half a second, that round is all over for them. But they clutch it, they make it out alive. Zaka's AWP and kit are well served.
But he's glad he picked up that kit now, because it does, in fact, save the round. And as you said, swift decisiveness is what allowed them to win that round on the retake. And with that, it will be another full buy from Rare Atom, and it looks as if they want to do something through the roof. Utility already raining on down towards that A bomb site. Are they going to attempt to do something fast towards A? No, it was all a ruse. They tried to go fast ramp, but the Molotov cut them off, and they don't want to use a smoke to expulge it. I can speak English, don't worry. As now a slower pace means Rare Atom have used up a little bit of their utility. Too much of a purpose. Second now, holding down the back of the ramp steadfast. He's the first, and Starry's there to help one out. A huge double kill from the man on the rifle, but Mercury is still alive and kicking, but Zaka puts a very swift end to that. That's a very solid round on the board for Lynn Vision, as Rare Atom get absolutely obliterated.
So, Tom, economy looking okay for Rare Atom. Still got money to buy through. Still looking good for Lynn Vision Gaming. Do you know what that means?
What does that mean, Buffers?
It means that we get some chef's kiss, bellissimo, perfecto gun rounds. And there's nothing better in my eyes than gun rounds on Nuke. I love Nuke as a map. I love playing it. I love watching it. And better yet, I love the strategy that it has. For me, it's like Overpass, in the sense that there is always strategy that's being cultivated and developed for it. There's no one way to play it, and that's what I like about it. I know a lot of people don't like the verticality of the map, with there being sites stacked on one another. But for me, this really is one of my favourites. And I always like seeing teams grapple with new alternative approaches to it. And I feel as if Lynn Vision here are playing with a bit of a different approach to it as well. They're very quick on the rotation. They're hot-footed to get down towards that B site whenever Rare Atom and trying to make pressure towards it. At the moment, looks like we're going to be seeing a lot of opening stance towards the roof on the A site, which would anticipate a bit of an A execute.
That does appear to be the case, and that is a perfect Molotov onto Nelly. Thankfully, he reads into it well, puts down the smoke and gets out of dodge, but X-Pro and Jamyoung go blow for blow. And Jamyoung, oh, he tries to do the noiseless drop, but fails and gets stuck mid-air. Melon and Starry mop up promptly as a result. And do you know what I love even better than a gun round on Nuke? I love a gun round where Kays, Advent, and Mosaic actually participate. So Kays, he still has the opportunity to do so, as does Mosaic, but it's a 4 versus 2. And they are still not filling me with the most amount of confidence. Time are ticking away. Bomb is still in play. But LVG, oh, they've just got everything on lockdown here. Their Atom might just want to consider a save early doors, but a Molotov on towards the A bomb site will knock anyone off top of Hut and allow the case to waltz on in. So waltz on in. Does eventually deal with Westmelon, but time is still ticking. They will go down to B. My God, do they get lucky escaping like that? But escaping out of the frying pan and into the fire. As Nuke's on the lower side, it's Zaka. And now no longer Zaka, it's Starry from behind. 7 on the board now for Lynn Vision. As Rare Atom looked like they were making a confident resurgence and are now getting slapped about the yard, just like they were at the start of the map.
Yes, indeedy. Most of this problem is coming down to Rare Atom having a really big intention of just trying to take the B site all the time. Whenever their A default there, their A executor they'd called, ended up going south. God, guys, what do we do? Straight to B. Let's just Hail Mary it down the vents. And it's been that way a good few times, whether that's been outside, whether that's been in towards secret, whether that's been trying to take ramp control. A bit of hesitation, and it's always resulted in towards B. So much so that you can see that Westmelon here, with the B control they've called outside, he's standard formation cross smokes, has decided to go and drop or at least shoot as if he's going down the vents. Leave X-Pro down here, who's already made his way from the outside position. X-Pro usually the outside garage player. He's now already been quick rotated down towards this B site. He's anticipating the pressure to come on through. They've just seemed to have such a good read on what Rare Atom are trying to accomplish. Once again, X-Pro's got this one locked on down. Zach is coming in for a little bit of assistance. They open the door to make sure they know there's presence here, and they're not afraid of making some steps either. Westmelon also in position, but not for much longer. Advent participating finally, whips the head of one off. Flashbang goes on out, and Zaka is away, waiting to try and bait a player into his crosshair, but X-Pro with the door little bait. They're not expecting two players down here, and now they're going to quickly try and Scarper. Got the tail back up towards the A site. Jamyoung's all the way up in heaven. This is perfect. It's well executed, I suppose, but it's all rested on Jamyoung's shoulders. There's nobody here to defend, and now they've got to try and retake.
I reckon this is the same call from LVG here. They are making their way in towards lobby, and if they do pick up a kill in this process, then I reckon they'll give it a shot. But with Rare Atom not wanting to give up a trick in this post plant, again, this should just be the same from the CT side. Mosaic looking like he's hungry for another frag to Vitali. Doesn't have anything in the back pocket though, so really does need to be careful in a circumstance like this. But as that bomb ticks on down, Rare Atom, they've solidified themselves a fourth off the back of a fantastic lurk from Jamyoung, catching the Heaven player completely off guard, and with everybody else still focusing down towards the B site, the rotations are not fast enough to get back in, and X-Pro has just heard Jamyoung jumping around outside towards CT Spawn and will exact his revenge on him, but the bomb revenges once again as X-Pro will falter, and he has no money to reinvest because of it.
4-7 then. Money's still looking good, which means I get more of those delicious and delectable gun rounds to come through, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be that way for much longer. You can see that Lynn Vision's money is starting to wear a bit thin. The rounds that they have been winning have actually been relatively close. It hasn't been totally dominant as it once was towards the start of this game. Well, the opposite is not quite true, as Jamyoung is starting to activate, and if he is getting so activated, this can become a little bit scary here for the side of Lynn Vision, because once he gets going, it might be quite hard to stop him. Now, I think X-Pro sacrificed himself there so that he could stop the smoke from going on the cross, but there was nobody there in position to capitalize for it, because Westmelon had already rotated down to the side. Fast rotations are paying dividends usually for Lynn Vision, but now, as a head is spotted, his game might be up. It's quick evacuation through Decon as Starry falls victim at double doors. Now he's going to have to hold strong and resolute. Quick, get up onto the rafters, try and relocate your position to something a little bit more forthcoming to your teammates' assistance. Go, and how do you possibly try and stay alive in a situation such as this? Both of the T-side players have access to upside and downside sites. Now Jamyoung gets that bomb planted on A. All of that hard work that Westmelon did, trying to keep himself alive and renegotiating positions, has been rendered absolutely useless. Now Nelly will be forced to save, and I'm sure that Westmelon will be much obliged to do the same thing shortly. I like the attempt, though. I like the attempt from Lynn Vision, but I think this over-rotation style, getting in towards this B site quickly, starting to be worked out a little bit here by Rare Atom. I think that the cogs are starting to turn in Advent's mind, and they are just out-maneuvering rather than out-aiming at this point.
Would you like some further stats about these two teams on Nuke? Whilst
Why
we wait
not?
for this bomb to tick away? Well, this is statistically Lynn Vision's worst map. They've played it 4 times, they've only won twice, and they've struggled through, for the most part, on their CT side. Nice kill there from Westmelon to keep the A1S over. Very crucial to the economy, but they've struggled through with a 52% CT round win percentage and a 44% T round win percentage. On the flip side for Rare Atom, on what is technically their best map, they've got a 70% CT round win percentage and a 63% T round win percentage, and they are looking to do just that here and now. If they can find a 7 or an 8, they will be very, very comfortable going into what will be their dominant half. A 70% CT round win percentage is absolute insanity regardless of the map. even ancient as K's, Advent, and Mercury are going to shut me up quite quickly as they demolish a couple of these Lynn Vision players towards outside. And Starry does get gifted one onto Mosaic, but that could well be all she wrote in terms of prospects for the CTs here, as Nelly will fall, and Starry, well, he's not going to be seeing Starry skies anytime soon.
No, in fact, it's looking quite bleak at the moment for Lynn Vision. Things were looking good for them in the early portions of this game, but more recently, fortune has changed for Rare Atom. Getting it together now, starting to outmaneuver, and more importantly, starting to win rounds. Little fakes they've been throwing, going outside early, gaining some pressure down towards the B site, and then quickly hot-footing it out when they realise that they can force these over-rotations. They can force these counter-terrorist players into their crosshairs. They are so willing to make these audacious plays ahead of schedule. Prediction engine is starting to slow down and seize to a halt here for Lynn Vision. I think that could be more of what you were saying about Lynn Vision's Nuke CT statistics. This is currently not looking too great. 9-6 on Nuke typically is what you want to look for. It is a little bit more CT sided than most maps in the pool. 9-6, 10-5 is generally what we see. 8-7 is pretty good for the Ts. Currently, we're on a bit of a mean trajectory for that round count to come in.
Yeah, we certainly are. And talking around count once again, I don't think Rare Atom will even be upset with a 6 on the board at the moment, as they do know just how strong they are on the opposite side. And it's not against particularly weak teams either. They've had a couple of easy runs on Nuke. Westmelon has an easy run of it outside as Case gets his head cleanly taken off, and the map is 3 in 10. I don't know why Kaze is having such trouble today as well, but oh my goodness, X-Pro certainly isn't. That is a flawless round, not a point of damage done with the exception of 1 HP on Starry. Rare Atom, where the hell did that come from? A mess of a round and 0 trades.
I have no idea what the heck just happened for Rare Atom. I think that was one of their little unique quirks as a team where they hesitated slightly and just got caught with their pants down. All of them, as a matter of fact. Or in the same place with all their pants down. It's a bit of an odd one to try and explain away, isn't it? I've got to run with that metaphor now. Despite that, Lynn Vision finally do secure themselves a victory in the half, but it might be by slender margins. Now, finally, we get to see some aggression straight out onto the A side. Westmelon not able to finish his dinner on the player at second vent. In fact, a team kill, and that will help Westmelon along very, very nicely. That's 3 players down on this A side push. It's Kaze waiting inside, Hosea waiting outside. On to get planned by Kaze, but how much can he get away with? Not really sure why there was a necessity to go ahead and smoke that. Maybe he was looking to try and escape, but irrespective of it, that's that. And get the half all sorted.
Well, honestly, I'm surprised with the way things were going that Lynn Vision manages to get that 15th round, get that 9th round on the board, sorry, as we head into the end of round 15. On the flip side, Rare Atom have a very weirdly bad last 2 rounds. One of them, they do a single point of damage to the side of Lynn Vision, and then credits to, again, Westmelon for that incredible A-site hole, dancing in and around bullets, peeking through mollies and smokes and flashes and all that jazz as they try and push the A-bomb site. They go for a split between inside and outside, and yeah, Westmelon just deals quite nicely with the pressure he's under. And I hope to see more of a resurgence back from the player who dropped 35 kills in the previous map. But looking to go into the second half, honestly, I do think Rare Atom have the capability. I'm really struggling with English as we hit the 8th or so hour that we've been.
It's been a long day.
It has been a long day indeed, but I do think Westmelon has the capability to research himself, and I also believe that Rare Atom have the capability to research into their own map pick. I do think we stand a strong possibility of going into a 3rd map today, and it will be good for the Counter-Strike, it will be good for both of these teams, and it will be good for the upper bracket final. We don't want a whitewash, we don't want another clean run for Lynn Vision. We do want them to have a little bit of a challenge going through this qualifier here, as it's only going to get tougher as they head up into 2 even stronger opponents in that Asian RMR close qualifier.
Yeah, absolutely agree. Lynn Vision so far, yeah, I understand what you're saying about their performance thus far on Nuke. It has been a tad touch and go. It doesn't look quite as controlled as their Vertigo performance, but that's not unexpected. It's not their map pick. It's not one of their favorite battlegrounds. I will say that Rare Atom are still showing many of the same problems that they've been having throughout the course of the day. Lots of hesitation, lots of stutters and missteps, and just what looks to be quite obvious miscommunication. Either way, it's not been an ideal performance from Rare Atom yet. So I wouldn't say that they're out of the woods with this being their map pick. Just because it goes to the CT side, we've seen before today already. We were expecting behemoth CT holds when they were playing against Wings Up earlier, and yet again, it didn't happen. So are we expecting the same thing here, or is it going to be another didn't happen moment? I feel with the way that Rare Atom are playing that it's going to be more of the same.
I feel like that has to be a rhetorical question because there really is no answer outside of the server itself. I mean, again, I've got Zaka highlighted here as my player to watch on Envision, and I'm pleased to say that the rest of the squad have been impressing far more than the usual star. They've been playing together as a team, and as much as they did falter quite heavily in the middle rounds of Nuke, Rare Atom have not been playing as a team in terms of the level they're bringing to the table. We've had a couple of individual plays, especially from Jamyoung, going for nice lurk plays towards the top of heaven. He's done that twice now, and he set them up for 2 good rounds on that T side. But outside of Jamyoung's lurking, it's been a little bit of luck and a little bit of pace that have got Rare Atom a lot of those 6 rounds. And yeah, with that, I see what you mean about the fact they're not out of the woods just yet. They really do need to gel themselves together a lot more than they're doing at the moment, and we do need to see those individual performances inflate massively. And I do believe that Mosea is going to be good at that on the CT side because Mosea, for some reason, drops 22 kills on a CT side after dropping about 3 on T, as we saw in the previous series. So yeah, he's not going to be too much of a concern for me. Again, it's Advent, the minus 21 from the previous series. It's still Jamyoung not quite being the star player we expect, especially against teams that he's so used to playing against within his own region. On the Lynn Vision side, it's a shame Westmelon isn't giving us as show-stopping of a performance as he did on Vertigo, but that is also understandable. That is not a game that you will be able to replicate every day.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. It's not a replicable performance, but we've had it at a Starry previously. He's not quite signed up to the party on this map just yet. But I think when they were at their best was on their Vertigo T side, when they had agency, when they had the ability to dictate the pace of play. They were aggressive towards middle with Starry almost every single time. Westmelon would be there in the mid round, late round, getting into the sites. He's that kind of player, whereas you just send Starry in, he does well.
Yeah.
I mean, recently Starry's been popping off with a 1.26 rating, if you believe that, and Westmelon's been not too far behind with a 1.23. So these guys have been playing well in their region. You've always got to put a little asterisk on that when you compare it. Like, the Asian region isn't quite as deep in terms of talent as, let's say, Europe. That goes without saying. Against one another, though, you can directly compare these two teams. They play each other frequently. Jamyoung, best player on their lineup, and there's nobody on Lynn Vision with a below 1.0 rating. Meanwhile, there is on Rare Atom, and we all know who that's going to be, don't we?
Oh, we don't need to dig. We don't need to dig his grave even deeper for him. So we'll let the audience figure that one out if they've not been watching along with us already. Yeah, going back over to the Lynn Vision side of things, I think they're also more hungry for this because they have this opportunity unfairly snatched away from them last time. They are the ones who qualified. They are the ones who defeated swathes of their compatriots. And yeah, I know how it feels to have an opportunity snatched away from you. I'm sure all of us do, as we've been promised it. We've worked hard for it. And Lynn Vision, they've put the work in for another, 6 months now since 4 months now since the previous major. And they're looking to get straight back into this new cycle. They want to go to Rio. It is realistically going to be one of the most hyped majors of all time. Imagine playing in front of that crazy Brazilian crowd. A crowd that sold out 20,000 tickets in under 30 minutes. There is passion for CS there in Brazil, I'm confident that they're going to be cheering for any team as long as their performance is strong.
Yes, most definitely. Maybe not for a team that's been having a good result against their national teams lately, but we'll see how that
Well,
goes. I
minor
mean,
inconveniences.
yeah, just a little one. I mean, they don't really care about their own teams, do they, in Brazil? Oh, wait. Yeah, they do. Uh, Anywho, Lynn Vision here, 629, have been presented with a strong opportunity if this pistol can go their way. Of course, they very handsomely cleaned up the last pistol, but Westmelon is trying to make that a reality yet again. Too many missed shots on the approach from Advent. As a result, that's 3 players inside the site. That's 4 frags found. And now just one more to get on Mosea, who's all the way down in the vent.
That was almost as flawless as you, Offers. An impeccable round on the side of Lynn Vision. And with that, Lynn Vision put themselves onto a 10th on their T pistol. Mosea is very much lost and left wanting for frags. He's not going to get anything down here on the B bomb site. He might be able to save his USP and armor. I mean, that would be all well and good. It would allow him to buy head armor against what will likely be Mac 10s in the following. But due to the nature of the T-style economy, there's going to be a couple of AK shots in there as well. And oh, what do you know? There's no saving for you, Mosea. He has just been dashed in the jaw by Westmelon. And with that, it is a stunning 10 on the board, 4-round lead. Can they keep this up on a T side of their opponent's map pick, though?
Oh, one certainly hopes so, as Lynn Vision here. Looking like the stronger of the 2 teams, in my opinion. Strange noises going on in my ear there. That's just completely threw me
I think
for a
production
loop.
had forgotten to mute their microphone. I heard a microwave going on.
Wonderful stuff. Rare Atom, on the other hand, have forgotten to how to play Counter-Strike, as they seem to have just not been able to hit a shot in any pistol round so far. That's 2 flawless pistols on Nuke, by the way. And whilst we say, yeah, okay, Rare Atom, it's their map pick, they're the favoured team to go through on this one, they're the favoured team to take this one to a 3rd map in this best of 3, yada, 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 all of those things. Pistol rounds prop up many, many weak teams. Like, if you can win both pistols, that's almost certainly a free 6 rounds for you there, and that makes it look a considerable bout much more respectable, wouldn't you agree?
I certainly would agree. Starry, though, is going to get tagged up quite heavily by the pistols in this one. And X-Pro, nice readjustment, finds 2, spinning around every which way. Westmelon turns east and finds another player hiding behind the wall. And Mercury, hello. A USP fiend, it seems, as he drops the bomb in the middle of no man's land, still on 100 HP, and has found an AK for his troubles. It's incredibly unlikely in this 1v3, but if you look at the health of both Westmelon and Zaka, there is still potential for Mercury to strike twice in the same place. Dancing around the double doors still, waiting for that bomb plant to eventually come in, and it's on Zaka, the low HP player. No way he let them sneak on past him. Oh, Nelly seals the deal, and oh, Nelly indeed is how Mercury is likely reacting, or the Chinese equivalent, as that will be 11-6 for LVG, off the back of what was a very slippery sneak up that B ramp.
Well, a little pause coming out here. I think it's much needed, don't you?
I think everybody needs to just sit down, hydrate themselves, have a moment to ponder. What a crazy day of Counter-Strike we've had so far. I've been enjoying myself.
Just need a
You
little
been enjoying
breather.
yourself?
I always enjoy myself when I'm watching and commentating Counter-Strike, and I'm enjoying it more so that I'm getting to do it with you.
You absolute charmer. Why,
I
thank you.
know, I know.
And
Imagine getting to do it with such a handsome team as well. It's a great group of people behind the screen that you can't see, and neither can we, but we can hear them.
we
They're
can
handsome
indeed.
too.
They're pretty sexy Swedish people.
Love
We
good
know how
sexy
Swedish
Swede.
people love their Counter-Strike.
Well, we also know how beautiful a lot.
That's why I'm trying to impersonate them with my long blonde hair and terrible beard.
You Scandinavian devil. Do you belong in the show Vikings?
I think that's the end goal. We're a cross between Scandinavian Jesus and just Rust. The Irish
Love it.
blood helps as well. The Starry helps himself to an opening frag on Mosea there. As we smoothly segue back into the round.
Do indeed. And it's going to need to be a smooth little segue through the ramp position by the looks of things for Lynn Vision here. And siphon themselves the energy to get up to a 12th round here and just bypass Jam Young for that little bit moment. Oh, I don't need to bypass him when you completely take him out of the equation. Starry, now tasked with watching Vent, spots the leg of Advent and drops a Molotov at his feet. There's no rotations to be coming through here. Advent has to make a quick decision to head towards Secret or wait for that Molotov to go. At the moment, he has made neither of those decisions, and it looks more to me like Rare Atom are going to be opting for the save once again. They don't have the finances to go for anything here, realistically. There's no kits available to them, whilst they do have a decent chunk of utility still available for them. Unfortunately, that's not going to assist them in staying alive, because now that's going to be Mercury out of the equation. Kaze and Advent need to try and balance this formula a little bit more, but they're not balancing their team's fragging charts with only 6 between the pair of them. It's not looking good here for Rare Atom. Things are certainly looking more and more pear-shaped with every round that goes by.
Would you like a depressing statistic here, Boffers?
I love your statistics generally, but I'm not sure whether I'll like this one.
The bottom 3 players of Rare Atom have less kills combined than Mercury or Jam Young.
Wah, 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 wah.
Yeah, it's just a shocking display here from Rare Atom. And I hope they get an early night tonight after they finish here. Actually, I'm not really sure what time it is in China. I know China is all one time zone because they are crazy over there. But I think they're 4 hours ahead. So yeah, there's still an opportunity for a reasonably early night. And as I said, Rare Atom are definitely going to need one so they can dream up a way to become good at Counter-Strike again. Because Kaze, Advent, and Mosaic, just where are they? They are practically non-existent. They're acting as effective as a single individual, and that single individual still not having a great time because they've got 11 kills in 18 rounds.
11 kills in 18 rounds.
Between just 3 people.
It's not a nice statistic to listen to, is it? 11
Not
kills in 18 rounds. Well, whichever way you slice it, it isn't looking like a very tasty Rare Atom. Already, Kaze has been spotted, and he's one of the players with one of those saved rifles. So he is of absolute importance that he stays alive. Now, the Eagle shot's firing out. West Melon is going to be forced to go down towards this B site just to try and give themselves some coverage. But now I think they know that they're here. There's not going to be any quick ahead of schedule rotations like Lynn Vision were doing in their first half. Rare Atom are going to stand resolute, and they're going to keep 3 players, 4 players up on the top side of the map. One resides down below in the depths, but taking lobby control. Nelly should press down this ladder. Might be the beneficiary of a number of frags. He spotted them heading towards ramp.
Great
There's
info there.
4 of them collected up here. They're going to have to wrap back around towards heaven one way or another. The A site completely empty. And I like the fact that Nelly didn't even go for that kill either. He just waited, just saw that utility, saw that information, and then translated that to the rest of his team. Westmelon's just finding heads out the back here. That's 4 of them in a row. And now Kaze, where are you, my friend? You're still down towards Secret. Are not going to be troubling this round by any stretch.
That was a very lovely play from Westmelon. I said I wanted to see a little bit more of him, and, well, that's a lot more of him. He's looking to clasp onto what could soon be a 2KD. And speaking of 2KDs, Expro has well surpassed that figure. Starry is on a 3KD against a Rare Atom, who are so rarely finding frags in this series that not a single one of their players found one in that previous round, despite multiple people investing. This is starting to go a little bit off the rails here for Rare Atom, to put it politely. And honestly, if they don't get this round, I am ruling them out completely. This has been a dazzling display on a T side of a map that they don't normally play for LVG. And something else that I realise now, taking heed from K23 in the last RMR, is that all of them are wearing the same skin, so it is impossible to pinpoint who a person is that you've done damage to off of their skin alone. Very intelligent stuff here from LVG. They've been doing their homework. Oh, Starry broke all of the bones in his legs, but he keeps on walking through as he's looking for even further frags.
Remember in Zombies when you would shoot the legs off the last zombie and you had a crawler? That's currently
You're gonna
Starry.
hate me for this. I've never played Zombies.
It's not unforgivable. when it was a thing when you were growing up, you were too scared, like I was. Either
if
way,
we if we're
it's
talking COD zombies, that would have been about when the first one came out.
yeah, well, probably wasn't much older, but Nelly is going to try and make sure that there's going to be even less time remaining on the lives of these players. Starry in behind, over the top, and down, dunks on them as Rare Atom once again lay waste to over here on this A site. Nelly waiting in his hut, shoulder baiting out for the next shot before he drops a smoke just to deny any further progress or retake potential from Jam Young. I don't think there's really any threat here either. I don't think Lynn Vision are worried about trying to hunt these weapons because well, they haven't really shown that there's any potency to be had from them, so they're not worried about keeping them in their hands.
Yeah, Case, please keep that orb, because you've not hit us once this entire half. So if you hold on to that for a bit longer, we're just going to continue to dance around you. And, well, Lynn Vision, they've danced around them again. That's a 14th on the board. They only lose a single player in that round. Their economy hasn't been a problem since the Stone Age. Rare Atom, they've got significantly greater problems in the economy, like the ability to only find a single frag on a buy round. And bearing in mind, again, may I remind you that they have a 70% CT round win percentage. That's not happened so far. They've won a single round, if I'm not mistaken. In fact, no, they've not won a single round. They've not won a round yet on their CT side. And Lynn Vision just keep on steamrolling.
That's quite nice there. There was a Molotov put down at Red Crate by Rare Atom, anticipating these outside smokes. So now there's a massive gap in the middle of them. And that has very swiftly changed the plan for Lynn Vision. Now recognise that they can't really go through that. It's not really plausible for them. They're just going to wait and see what comes to them now. They're going to readjust their strategy. It looks like they're going to be lining up an assortment of smokes that will go inside the A bomb site. At least that's what it looks to be to me. Zaka just going to be either dropping back down or setting a Molotov, one of the two.
See?
What's going on here?
Are they trying to do the dumb run boost?
I...
One where if you get run boosted... Okay, no, they're not.
Just a bit of a
second, like they were trying to do the Smiley Beef run boost onto Silo for the fun of it.
Looks like a bit of an execute either way coming in. Smoke out towards door, Molotov on top of the hut, and then a few more pieces of utility and flashbangs on the most part to follow suit. But it's a very slow approach. It's almost as if they don't actually want to go on this, and they're just trying to pull rotations to play contact later. Mercury may yet give them that first advantage, but Mercury's too quick on the trigger finally. A frag found and second vent molly placed. Flashbangs soon to be leveraged from Nelly, and out they go. Into the site they tumble. Mercury with another, holding strong, holding station on top of the site. A third for Mercury as he switches to the USP, desperately calling for the assistance of his brothers in arms, but Starry is trying to fight on back. With only 9 seconds though, it certainly is a tall order. As X-Pro goes on down, it's going to have to be a save or death for Starry, and he's electing to the former stick.
Well, Mercury is the only reason that Rare Atom have put a round on the board on the CT side so far, so credits to him. He's doing certainly the best out of the rest of his team. More depressing statistics, he now has 3 more kills than the bottom 3 players on his team combined, with Advent and Kaze sitting on 3 kills apiece as we head into round number 22. This is possibly the single-handedly worst team performance in terms of fragging I have ever seen. And I have seen some Face-It games that have left me scarred.
Yep, I've had my fair share of those. Green, what is your problem, Green?
Monsieur Lone Ram, Green. I'm so happy they made that into a sticker.
Yeah, me too. It's quite nice, isn't it? Homage to the game.
Slightly less happy that I've opened 30 capsules and 29 of which have been blue, but that's another story for another day. It's Lynn Vision.
It do be like that, though. It
It really do be like that, man. It's been tough. And that Molotov was all over the place. It just completely missed, bounced off the wall, and oh, they threw another one, so it's all good. Mercury is looking to throw another player 6 feet under, and he successfully eliminates Nelly, who I keep wanting to think of as a rapper for some reason. YNWML, he's not here right now. Instead, it's a 5v4 for Rare Atom, and they may well be putting an 8th up on the board. I've seen crazier comebacks happen as Mosea's decided to wait a little bit too. It's a very close call, but X-Pro finishes the job, Jam Young trades it back, and it will be a 4v2 for Rare Atom.
It looks like they're starting to get a few nice reads here as well for Rare Atom. Finally, a bit of luck going their way with 2 players there sitting on the outside position, one towards Secret, one towards Garage, or slightly further pressed up in their case, a bit towards the electronic spot that we now all know. But even still, Kays, with the AWP, has taken a tag from Zaka. They have pretty much spotted each other, locked eyes, they've gazed into one another's soulless voids, and now they're looking to try and take battle with one another once more. But I don't really know what the objective here is for Lynn Vision. They're just trying to take some control and sort making a fair amount of noise. Zaka has got 1 frag down towards ramp. A second is not forthcoming, though, as Westmelon has it all to do. 1 versus 3 with the bomb on his back. He finds the first of those 3 frags and now has to move quickly. With only 10 seconds, this has to be an instantaneous plant with nobody there to stop him. And he will just get it down in time. So 1 to the left, 1 to the right. It's going to be a tap on in, but not enough to finish off K's. Mercury's the one to do the damage to begin with anyway. But still, a nice attempt from Lynn Vision Gaming. And as a nice little extra lining of the pocket, the bomb plant goes a long way to help them get better buyers moving forward.
Man, that was close. If he had actually finished off K's there, I reckon he finds himself a 15, because as I tried to point out, he's got a flashbang. I'm surprised he didn't use it for the initial swing, but this man has balls of steel and clearly a lot of confidence right now, because Rare Atom haven't exactly been much to be afraid of thus far. Gaze finally puts his 4th kill onto the board. I don't even want to attempt to calculate how long it's taken him to do that. He has 28 ADR, which is interesting to say the least. In fairness, I think that might be because ESCA resets it at the half.
Yeah.
So he's had 28 ADR in the second half, which is still a pretty miserable statistic. LVG, making sure they don't accidentally let this spiral into a comeback for Rare Atom, as there's 2 on the board in a row now for them. Are hungry to deal a killing blow to them as soon as possible. As much as that clutch would have likely stirred a little bit of panic amongst the Rare Atom players, did not eventually stir out an extra round to the tally. But with this now, X-Pro is making his way downtown. He's walking slow. He's going prone as he's outside now.
He's actually got a lot of space here, by the way. This is a lot of space given up outside. Starry, I think,
a terrible attempt at pop culture referencing from me, and I would like to apologise to the ears of the viewers.
Don't worry about it. It's our job to make terrible pop culture references. It's actually Starry, I was mistaken, who's managed to get a lot of space outside. He's in towards Secret already, ahead of schedule. It's actually really big. Another problem with that smoke. We'll soon see it rectified, though. No gaps in that one. Very, very slow and patient contact play with 25 seconds. They're going to have to explode onto this site. And now they're finally pulling the pin. Speaking of pins pulled, flashbang on the grenade pin pulled there from Maseu. Now he's going to go in towards the site. It's 5 players flooding through the doors. It's frags thick and fast. And now finally an opportunity for the bomb plant. It has to go down now, and it is done so. Nelly punches the digits in and plants that bomb on the floor. Now the rest of the site is becoming their home. They're setting themselves in. They're pitching a tent and calling it home right now. There's now Kays is up towards the back of ramp. Are they even just going for this? Is there even a shot in the dark that this works on out? Especially not after that frag, you imagine. Final 2 players are up on the A site, and there really is no shot for them to get into this round. The bomb is already ticked too far away for Kays to find a way to get in with the AWP and defuse. And Mercury already too far removed from the action. It was too risky for him to have dropped down bent in that situation. So Rare Atom recognise the fragility of their situation, hold onto their rifles, live to fight for overtime.
Would it be crazy of me to say that I actually really want to see Kays on a rifle right now, so we can play with a little bit more confidence and a little bit more maneuverability than just lugging around an AWP which he's got 1 kill with for the past 10 or so rounds. I just think, I don't know, maybe give the AWP to Advent because he seems to be dying last anyway without finding any frags. He may as well do it with a big green in tow so he can try and pull off something James-esque. But with a match point for Lynn Vision Gaming here, I don't think the weapon composition particularly matters for Rare Atom as they're down by 7 rounds on their own map pick, and they have looked criminally underwhelming thus far. Mosaic, Mercury, they've been doing okay. Jamyoung chiming in, and Kays, well, he does prove me wrong on the AWP front at least. But Westmelon had already found the entry beforehand, and Kays is about to be forced off the angle. No, he's not.
What is going on with this utility?
Wow. They just missed 4 util pieces in a row, eventually forcing Kays back on out. But Westmelon has just entered again. Westmelon has just gone Super Saiyan once again. I don't even know what that would look like, but Advent has just found 2/3 of his kills in 1 round.
Okay, that's not bad from Zaka. They've still got plenty of space and time to get this bomb planted, but certainly to start this round off, it was Westmelon, Bestmelon, and as a result of it, Saya has a chance. He's going to spot the back of one. Now there's a chance for the other. Expo up top, a big clutch on the cards, and he's going to make it work. It's perfect. Lynn Vision Gaming 2-0. And they are on their way to that big old, big boy grand final of this close qualifier. What a performance from Lynn Vision, frankly. Kailu and Rare Atom in the same day.
I mean, both of them being 2-0s as well. And I'm going to say very comfortable 2-0s. Okay, the first map was a little bit dicey of this series, but that